And online people, can you please confirm my voice is audible or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I hope my screen also visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, I'm very sorry, Andy. So 30 minutes got delayed. So because of the demo session, they're asking so many questions as part of demo. Hope everyone you know, right? In the demo session, they're having so many questions. So that's the reason it got delayed. Sorry for that. We'll continue the class. First question. How many of you are able to do practice on Databricks? Okay. Okay. Facing any issues?
Not able to sign up.
Not able to sign up. Okay. Other people?
Not created.
Sir, actually, I'm not able to create the compute itself.
So I'm capturing all the things. When I saying I'm not able to create compute engine. Okay. What's the error we're getting?
Sign up issue with
Yeah, we'll go to the sign up issue. So
Databricks.
first we'll discuss about this compute engine. So what's the issue you're getting for compute engine?
Yes, sir. The quotas thing.
You are saying, okay, quotas exceeded, something like that.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Actually, I created one more workspace and then I've tried creating the compute engine.
Okay.
But still, I'm getting the same error.
Okay, this is one issue. Okay.
So I tried same thing, sir. I changed the zone also, but still getting the
Okay.
same
Yeah,
issue.
I will check and I will. That's why just I'm capturing all the list of the issues here. Someone is saying that a sign up is not completed. Getting errors. Account already exists. Okay. So this is the
Sir,
one more
for
error.
this, I have a solution. Actually, even I got this error.
Mhm.
So what I did is I have logged in using a different Gmail account. After that, in the next steps, I've given my GCP account,
GCP project ID.
not project ID, GCP account Gmail ID will be there, right?
Mhm.
So in the next steps, I've given that ID. So if I use that, then I'm able to create the Databricks account.
Okay, but it will create the problem, right? So you are creating with a different account and you are trying to access the GCP account with a different thing. It will create the problems. Yeah, but we'll see. So I will check that once. Okay. Other than these
Sir,
two,
rather than that, there is one more option also, sir, for second one. Just directly go and open the URL, sir, the Databricks URL.
Okay.
And just we can log in, sir, from the existing email.
I mean,
It
using
has-
community edition.
Yeah, like already we have created, it is showing that Databricks account already exists, right?
Mhm.
Just you can go to the URL accounts.databricks.com and just you can give the email ID and password, then it is opening, sir. Rather than going from the console.
Okay, I got it. So you are saying that it's given the error as already this account is exist. That's the reason you're saying that better to go ahead with the directly with the accounts.databricks.com. You're saying. Okay, got it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So other than these two type of issues, any other issues people are facing? One is compute engine people are not creating because of the quotas exceeded. Second one is someone is saying sign up is not completed because of account is already exist. Other than these two issues, your issue is what? Yes. One second. Someone facing the issue, purchase order is still waiting. This is the some other person facing the issue. You are saying something? Sorry, can you repeat? Okay, if you're creating a new project, by using that project, if you're trying, it is creating, you're saying, okay, nice. Yeah, for this one, some people are suggesting like this, and for first issue, create new project in GCP console and give that project ID as part of creation of workspaces. So if you remember, as part of creation of
This is
workspace,
also done, sir.
Okay, this is also not working.
Yeah, this is also not
Sir,
working.
for that, I'm getting enable billing issue, sir. I'm not able to enable the billing something. When
Enable
I'm
billing
trying
is
to
Yeah,
not-
create
sure.
the
Sorry.
when I'm trying to create the new project, any bucket, I'm getting that issue, enable billing issue. So that's why I have only two projects. Those two projects only, I'm getting this issue, quota issue.
No, just you need to click on that enable billing, and there you can
Yeah,
able to
it's
select
not
the billing.
updating, sir. It's not updating. It's I tried many times. 2
Can
to
you do
3
one
hours.
thing? Just to
It's taking.
log out and log in. Can you try once? Still, it's not working.
Day before
you-
yesterday, I tried, sir. 2 3 hours it took the time, but it's not updated.
Okay, can you just do one thing? Just to try to log out and log in one more time. And if it is not working, we'll see that option. Okay, why am I correcting all this in Sunday? Actually, so for if you see the first issue, some people are giving some other option. So they are saying that we can able to create the new project and give that project ID as part of creation of the workspace. Might be with that your problem will resolve. This is first thing. Coming to sign up issue, if you are getting the issue, if you are getting the errors, already your account is there in the Databricks account. Then what we can do here? Directly open the Databricks URL. In that Databricks URL, try to log in with your existing mail ID. With that, might be we can able to resolve this issue. And this one I need to check. But anyhow, I will check all these three issues only, and if I found any solution, I will let you know. So with that, we can able to proceed. For now, I also don't have idea. So what is the solution for these three? But coming to first one, already some other people are giving some suggestion. Create the new project. With that, try to create the workspace. That is the solution for the first problem. Second one, sign up is not completed. You are getting the error is account is already exist. For such kind of people, please open the Databricks URL directly. In that, try to log in with your existing mail ID. Might be with that you can able to log in. After that, try to create the workspace. With that, hope this issue will resolve. And coming to third one, some person is facing the issue. Purchase order is still waiting. So for this, I will check and get back. And for all these three issues, I will also go through it once. If I found any solutions, I will let you know. Other than these three issues, any other issues people are facing? Anyone facing any other different issues? Because if you can able to give the list of the issues only, with that I will do some analysis. With that I can able to provide the answer. Other than these three, if you are facing any other issues, please let me know. No? Okay, nice. Okay, no one succeeded. All are facing the same issue. At least one person.
Sir,
You're
if
also
you
facing
use
issues.
different mail ID, so if you use different mail ID
It's not
and
working. One second. You are saying something, someone? Tell me, please.
sir, if you use different mail ID, and that if you want to connect our project from GCP mail ID, how to connect it?
No, you are given the different mail ID for the purpose of login, sign up. Okay. But as part
Yes.
of creation of the workspace, what we are doing, as part of creation of the workspace, we are given the project ID. So in that project ID, you have to give the project ID which is related to your GCP account. That's the way actually I'm also having the confusion, but some person is given this option, but I also having that question. So
Like
because-
I tried the same, sir. I'm using in this way only.
Okay, and you are able to create the clusters and everything?
Yeah, I'm able to create the workspace. I mean,
Okay.
in whereas in Compute Engine, I'm getting the quotas exceeded error.
Okay. Okay, so I think, okay. Yeah, other person who never asked the question. So you can try this option. I will check that quota exceeded error and I will get back to you. So why we are getting that quota exceeded error?
Actually, we
Okay,
cannot
sure.
edit in a free trial, so that
No,
is
we
the
cannot
issue.
able to edit, but someone is given the answer for this. So can you please try to create the new project and try with that?
Yeah, I've created a new project also, sir.
Okay.
There I'm getting the billing
yeah.
issue.
Okay, then I will check from my side and I will confirm you about that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any other issues other than these three?
So for now, if we want to do practice, we can go with the 2 core one, sir. It is creating for me.
2 core?
Yes, sir. In the data bricks, while creating a cluster, in
Just one
the
second. Just one second. I'm opening that. We'll see that.
in the
Just one
node type,
Okay, tell me now. So
Yeah, in the node type, sir. When creating a new cluster,
okay, when creating a new cluster, saying okay. So instead of
Yeah.
taking the lowest version, you taken the highest version.
no, sir, it's lowest version only.
Hmm.
We can go with the E2 high-end 2, sir. Yeah, the existing one with the 2 cores.
With the default one.
Yeah, with the default one, sir.
Okay.
In the node type, sir. Node type. Cannot see the node type option over there, sir.
No, I'm seeing the worker type only, Andy. So where is the node type?
Is it single node? I think.
Yeah, up it's single node, sir. In node type, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of, yeah, you can scroll up, sir. Some more, sir.
Okay, this is the top one.
Yeah, like down. Yeah, some more, sir. Some more. Yeah, over there, sir. In the memory optimized.
Okay.
Yeah, but the first one, it's working, sir.
First one is working for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so someone is given this option, Andy. So whomever is facing that quota exceeded error, someone tried with this node type. So with that, they are able to create the data bricks cluster. So just I will type it here.
Sir, can you scroll a bit up? I saw some warning over there.
This one we can close it.
Yeah. For no. This is what the warning I'm getting.
Yeah, this is the warning we are getting. This you can ignore it, so it's not an issue. Just 1 second. Okay, so someone given this option to only. So whomever is facing this quota exceeded error, so please try to create the new compute. In the compute, please select the memory optimized. Within the memory optimized, you can able to see the option called as a T2 high mean 2. So this is the one. Yeah, if you see here, under the node type, you can able to go to the memory optimization section. In the memory optimization section, please select this option. So with that, hope it will work. So someone tried and he is saying that that is working. See, here our target is we need to create the compute engine by using any one of the machine ID. Why we are not going with the higher configuration? Because we'll face some kind of issue. That's the reason we are not going with the higher configuration. But you can take any node configuration, but by synchronization, after completion of the practice, please close it immediately. With that, what will happen? You cannot able to charge more. For that reason, some persons tried already with this option, memory optimized. Within that, he selected the first option. Whomever facing that quota exceeded error, please try this option from your side also. If it is working, we can able to continue. If that is also not working, from our side, from my side, I will verify how we need to resolve that issue. With that, we can able to continue the practice. Is it fine? Okay. Any other suggestions? Online people or offline people? If anyone has put any other options?
Second issue now, sir. Account.gcp data bricks also. Second issue.
This one? Okay.
Account.gcp data bricks also.
So by using that, you are able to log into the data bricks. Yeah, can you please try to create the compute also? We'll see whether it's creating or not. Okay. Okay, so just we'll continue now. Just 1 second. So what we'll do here is, I will continue with the class, and once all these issues are resolved, then you can able to create the compute, and then you can able to create the notebook, and you can able to continue the practice from your side. So from my side, I will continue the remaining topics here. Okay, so my cluster is starting until, so just we'll wait for a few seconds. But before that, if you remember, as part of our Pyspark example, we discussed about one of the example called as nothing but read the data from customer.csv file. After that, read the data from customer.csv file. After that, in between these two files, I want to perform the union operation. After that, we applied the filter. We given the condition as grade is equal to 200. This is the filter condition we applied. After that, if you remember, we derived a new column. In that new column, wherever city is equal to London. Any question? Wherever city is equal to London, we need to populate the value as a LO. For all other values, we need to populate it as a NY. So if you remember, this is the one of the example we covered as part of our previous sessions under the Pyspark only. When we did the practice on the pie chart, at that time we did the practice on top of this. Now you try to give the answer in the pie chart. What activities we have did to read data from this file? What is the activity we need to do? Simply we have to give it as a spark.read.csv. With that you can able to read the data. With that you can able to create a data frame. After that, to read data from here also we can able to give it as a spark.read.csv. After that, to perform the union operation, which transformation we applied? We applied the union transformation. With this, we are creating a one more data frame. Just I'm giving the numbers like this. For this, we created data frame 1. And for this, we created data frame 2. And after that, by using these two data frames, we are creating the data frame 3. After that, to perform filter operation, we can able to use the filter transformation. With that, you can able to create data frame 4. After that, here I want to derive the new column and I want to apply the kind of a if-else logic. For the purpose of doing this operation, what transformations we applied? Yeah, to implement the if-else logic, we can able to go for when and otherwise. But if you want to derive the new column, which transformation we need to apply? We need to go for with column. After that, to apply the if-else logic, what transformation we need to apply? When, otherwise. At the same time, if you want to derive this kind of hardcode values, what we have to do? If it is a London, I want to populate the value called as a LO. For that, what is the transformation we applied?
Lit.
We applied lit. Okay, indirectly with the help of all these transformations with column, when, otherwise, lit, and by using the union, by using the filter, we performed all the activities on top of our previous example. Now indirectly, all these are falling under what? Is our Spark DSL. Okay. Now I want to perform the same operation with the help of the Spark SQL. Now indirectly try to understand here. I am having the data frame 1 table. Then I'm having data frame 2 table. Just assume that we are having data frame 1 df1, that's a table name 1. df2 is a table name 2 only. Now on top of these tables, I want to apply all these requirements by writing the SQL query. Now you people try to give the answer how we can able to frame the SQL query to apply same requirement in the SQL side. Any guesses? I want to achieve the same requirement without using the transformations. I want to write the SQL query for this. What is the first requirement? I want to apply the union. So what we can do, simply select star from df1. After that, we are giving union. Then select star from df2. So with this, what we can do here, you can able to perform the union operation. Coming to batch 20 people, we haven't discussed about the SQL queries or database concepts, but it's a very simple query. Try to understand, and if you understand well and good, otherwise forget about this query. We'll discuss in the coming classes. But here, if you want to perform the union operation in the SQL side, simply what we can do, we can able to give it as a union. Okay. Now what's the next requirement? After performing the union, I want to apply the filter condition. Now you tell me in the database, sir, how to apply the filter condition?
Yeah, where
We can go for where clause. We have to give the condition as where grade is equal to 200. But is it the correct query or we need to change anything here? Is it the correct query or we need to do any changes here? See here, if you are going to run the query like this, what will happen? This where clause is applicable for the complete query or this where clause is applicable for only this part of the query?
Only
alias
that part
name.
of
This
the
where clause is applicable for only the second part of the query, but my requirement is after performing the union, on top of this entire result, I want to apply the where clause only. What we need to do here?
subquery we have to
We need to
mention.
go for subquery, select star from, I'm given the bracket, and here also I'm given the one more bracket. Now tell me what type of subquery it is?
Inline view
It's a
subquery.
inline subquery. Whenever we are applying the inline subquery, what is the rule we need to follow?
It's a from class of the select statement.
We have to give the alias name on top of your subquery. So coming to batch 19 people, we discussed about the subquery, we discussed about the inline subquery. I'm giving the heads up to the batch 20 people. You don't know about all these concepts, but just to try to understand. If you understand, you can continue the practice. Otherwise, in the coming classes, we are going to discuss about all these concepts in our batch. Okay. Now here, by writing this query, we are applying the union within the subquery. On top of this entire result, we are applying the where clause. Then we are given the grade is equal to 200. That's it. Or do we need to perform any other operations here? We applied the filter. We applied the union. What else we need to apply? We need to derive the new column by using the if-else logic. How to apply the if-else logic in the SQL side?
Yeah, using case statement.
We can go for case statement. How to apply the case statement? Case when
Case
city is equal to London. Other people try to give the answer. Then perfect. I want to populate the static values here. What we can do? Within the single quote, just give it as a LO. What next? Yeah, case when completed. What next? Just you can give it as a else statement. Yes, if it is not London, I want to populate all the remaining values as a NY. After that, we need to close the case statement by using the end keyword. After that, just we have to give some alias name. I'm giving alias name is, for example, Y. So this is the way what we can do here. You can able to frame the SQL query. Now we did the same operations with the help of the Spark DSL in the Pyspark. Now by using the notebook, I want to implement the same requirement. But in this requirement, instead of using the Spark DSL, my requirement is I want to perform this whole operation with the help of the Spark SQL. Now you tell me, in the Spark SQL, are we going to write the different SQL query, or we are writing the same SQL query, whatever we discussed in the database concepts? Whatever we discuss in the database concepts, same query you can able to apply with the help of the Spark. And that's the reason from the beginning onwards I'm telling database concepts are going to play the very important role. If you are going to perform the BigQuery operations, or if you are going to perform the Spark operations, for any kind of operations, you can able to frame the SQL queries. With that, we can able to achieve the requirement. Same requirement we can able to achieve by using the Spark DSL. Same requirement we can able to achieve by using the Spark SQL. Now in the notebook, we'll try to understand how we can able to achieve the requirement with the help of the Spark SQL. Okay, just we'll check it once. It is running. It is ready. Go to workspace. If you remember morning in the DBS file, in the DBS we uploaded only one file only. Now my requirement is within the Data Bricks I want to upload the one more file. Now you people try to give the answers. How to upload the file in the Data Bricks? Where we need to go? Please go to catalog. Within the catalog we can able to see option called as a browse DBS. Now tell me, can we able to get this browse DBS by default, or we have to change the settings? We have to change the settings from our side. With that, you can able to see the option called as a browse DBFS. Just click on that. I hope my voice is clear, right? Now we need to upload the file. So if you want to upload the file, please click on the upload button. Here, after the file store, you have to specify in which folder you want to upload the file. I am giving, for example, qtcd-20. Within this, I'm going to click on the browse button. Just observe. Morning already we uploaded the file called as a customer_lo.csv. Now just I'm uploading the one more file called as a customer_ny.csv. Now in the DBFS both the files are ready. Now what we can do with the help of the Spark, I want to read the data from the both the files. After that I want to perform the Spark SQL operations. Now where we need to perform all these operations? We need to go to the notebook. In the Data Bricks, if you want to perform any kind of operations, we need to go to the notebook. How to go to notebook? Here go to workspace.
Workspace.
Within the workspace, you need to go to workspace, and again you need to click on the users, and within the users you can able to see all the list of the notebooks which are already created. But if you want to create the notebook, we need to go to add. Here we need to click on the notebook. With that we can able to create the new notebook only. But just what I will do here is I will use the existing notebook. So what I will do here is I will try to capture all the examples in the single notebook only. After completion of the class, I will share this notebook to your, I will upload this notebook into the Infinity. With that, after completion of the class, you can able to perform the practice, because now I think most of the people are unable to do the practice in parallel with me. That's the reason you can able to perform the practice after completion of the class by using this notepad, okay, notebook. Now here, in which folder we are having the file? Qt CDE bash 20. Just I'm checking whether my files are uploaded properly or not. If you want to verify whether files are uploaded properly or not, we can able to use the magic command called as a %fs. After that, just give the ls command, and after that we need to provide the complete path. Just click on run. Okay, now you can able to see we are having the folder. Within the folder, we can able to see the both the files only. Now, what is the step one? We need to create a data frame by reading the data from this file. So for that, so this is the line of the code we can able to write. Just I need to change the path. So here I will give it as okay. So by using this line of the code, what we are doing, we are reading the data from the customer_LO file. Here we are given the header equal to true, and we are given the info schema is equal to true. Just I will run this. Okay, so data frame is created. So what I will do here is I will give the name like this. This is the name I'm giving. After that, just I want to display the data for this. So I'm giving customer_LO.show. Okay, you can able to see the data on top of the first file. In the same way, what we need to do here, we need to create the one more data frame by reading the data from the customer_ny.csv file. So just I copy paste the same line. Here I'm giving the data frame name is nothing but customer_ny, and I want to read the data from customer_ny.csv file. So that is the file name I'm giving here. So with this, you can able to create the one more data frame by reading the data from the customer_ny.csv file. After that, here I'm giving customer_ny.show. Okay, now this is the way simply you can able to create the two different data frames by reading the data from the two different files only. Now what is our requirement? I want to perform all the transformations with the help of the Spark query, Spark SQL. For the purpose of doing that operation, what we need to do here is customer_LO dot So see here, whenever you want to perform the Spark SQL operations on top of our data frame, we need to create a kind of a temporary view only. So here we can able to create the view just by using the method called as nothing but create or replace temp view. With the help of this, we can able to create the view. But tell me here, we are creating the view on top of what? We are creating the view on top of your data frame. What is my data frame name here? Customer underscore LO is my data frame. On top of this data frame, we are creating the view. Whenever we are going to create the view, we have to specify the view name. Just for my understanding, I am given the name is nothing but customer underscore LO underscore V. Indirectly, we are converting our data frame as view. But why we are creating this view separately here? Because whenever you want to perform any kind of Spark SQL operations, we need to maintain the views only. For that reason, just we are going to create the view like this. On top of this view, we can able to perform our Spark SQL operations by depending on our requirement. Just run this once. Now we need to create the one view or we need to create the multiple views. We need to create the one more view on top of the one more data frame. What is the one more data frame? Customer underscore NY is the one more data frame. So what I will do here is I will copy the same thing. Okay, so this is the one more view I'm creating on top of your customer underscore NY data frame. Just run this. Okay. Now first view is ready and second view is ready. So far what we have done, we created the data frame 1, we created the data frame 2, and to perform the Spark SQL operations, we need to create a temp view. For that reason, for data frame 1, we created the view. For data frame 2 also, we created the view. Now what we can do here, simply we need to write our SQL query. Now whatever the query we prepared earlier, in this, just I'm modifying data frame 1 as like this, and data frame 2 with this name. So whatever the query already we discussed in the notepad only, just I'm taking the same query here. In this query, I replace the data frame 1 with the customer underscore LO underscore V. I replace the data frame 2 with customer underscore NY underscore V. Okay, this is the way. Simply I replaced all the data frames, whatever we given the sample data frames earlier. Now same query I'm going to take. Next, I'm creating a new cell. In this cell, I am creating customer underscore LO underscore NY underscore SQL. After that, whenever you want to run any kind of SQL queries by using the Spark, just we can able to give it as a Spark SQL. After that, just within the brackets, give this like this. We'll do one thing. We'll write the query again here completely. Select. One second. Okay, so first we'll see Andy. So we'll write query on top of the only single view and we'll try to run this. With that, we'll try to implement the remaining part of the query. Just I'm giving select star from the first view. After that, I'm giving data frame name dot show. If you see here, what I'm doing, whenever you want to run any kind of SQL query with the help of the Spark SQL, it's very simple. We are not doing any special activities only. Just give it as a Spark dot SQL within the bracket, whatever the query you want to trigger, you can able to pass that query within the bracket here. So only for understanding, just I'm giving one view here. Select star from your view name. With that, you can able to create a data frame by using our Spark SQL. If you want to see the data, give it as a data frame name dot show. With that, you can able to see the data like this on top of your output. But our requirement is we need to write the simple query or we need to write the complete query by depending on the requirement. We have to write the complete query by depending on the requirement. For that reason, just what I will do here is now I will write the query here. Union select star from customer underscore ny underscore b. And for this, I'm giving the alias name as X. And after that, here we need to apply the where condition. I'm giving the where condition as grade is equal to 200. After that, here I want to populate data for all these columns. Instead of giving the star, I'm giving it as a customer underscore ID, comma, cust underscore name, comma, city, comma, grade, comma, salesman underscore ID. Because in my output, I want to get data for these 4 columns. Other than these 4 columns, I want to populate data for a separate column by using the requirement. For that reason, first I'm typing all the columns, whatever the columns are required. Then I am going to apply the case statement, case when city is equal to London. Then I want to get output as a LO, else I want to get output as a NY, then end. I'm giving alias name is nothing but, for example, city underscore shortcut name. So this is the way, whatever the query we discussed in the notepad, we taken the same query here. We are applying the complete query by depending on the requirement. Now here simply what I'm doing, I'm using the Spark.SQL. Within the Spark.SQL, you can able to pass any kind of SQL query as part of database concepts. Whatever the queries we discussed already, you can able to pass those queries within the Spark also. But only thing is nothing but whenever you want to perform the Spark SQL operation, first step what we have to do, we need to convert data frame as a temp view. After converting the data frame as a temp view, then you can able to frame the queries like this. But whenever you want to frame the query, we need to use the Spark.SQL. With the help of the Spark.SQL, you can able to perform this operation. Now, on top of this Spark.SQL, what we are creating a data frame. After creation of the data frame, I want to display the data. For that reason, we are giving data frame name dot show. With this, just I will run this once.
There is a dot before city.
There's my mistake. Typo mistake on it. Just I'm changing this. Okay, so see here, as per the requirement, I want to get data for only grade is equal to 200 records. So we apply the condition as a where grade is equal to 200. With that, we are getting data for only grade is equal to 200. After that, what is the one more requirement? I want to add a new column. In this column, I want to populate data for, we are getting some different data. So here we need to give the capital L. This is my mistake again. Okay. Now see here, wherever we are having the London, we are getting the values as a LO. Other than London, whatever the values we are having, we are getting the output as a NY. So this is the way simply we can able to understand how we can able to achieve the same requirement without using the Spark DSL. Instead of using the Spark DSL, with the help of the Spark.SQL also, you can able to achieve the requirement. Now you tell me, is there any difference between Spark DSL and Spark SQL? Any answers? I can able to say no difference. Simply we can able to say by depending on our convenience, you can use either Spark DSL or we can able to use Spark SQL. We can able to go for either Spark DSL or we can able to go for the Spark SQL. Now, for example, if you are very convenient in the SQL queries, what we can do, simply we can go ahead with the Spark SQL. If you are not that much convenient in the SQL set, then what we can do, we can go for Spark DSL. But if you want to use the Spark DSL, what we need to understand here, we need to understand all available transformations within the Spark DSL. But tell me here, do we need to remember all the transformations? If you are given the data frame name dot, if you are given the dot, automatically what will happen? It will display all the transformations, and only you need to understand about when we need to go for what kind of transformation. With that, no need to remember all the transformation names. Whenever you are giving data frame name dot, automatically what will happen? You can able to see all the list of the transformations in the notebook, or you can able to see all the list of the transformations in the PyCharm also. With that, either you can able to go ahead with the Spark DSL, or we can able to go ahead with the Spark SQL by depending on our requirement. Okay, now you try to give the answer. Whenever you want to use the Spark SQL, what are the steps we need to follow? What all are the steps we need to take care? What is the first step? If you want to use the Spark SQL, what is the first step? First step, obviously we need to create our data frames. After that, convert these data frames as what? We need to convert it as a views. For this, what is the method we are using? We are using this one. Just I will copy paste there. Because this is again one of the interview question. If you are going to specify that we are using the Spark SQL as part of my project, then they will ask the question, can you please explain what are the steps we need to follow as part of the Spark SQL? That's the reason just I'm making all these statements. First step, we need to create the data frames. Second step, convert these data frames as views. For that, we are using the create or replace temp view. After that, to write SQL query, we need to use what? Spark session dot SQL open bracket and close the bracket. Now within this bracket, within the double quotes, you can able to pass your SQL query by depending on your requirement. With that, simply we can able to perform our operations with the help of our Spark SQL. Okay, but if you observe here, as part of Spark SQL also, what we did? We created data frame only. See, if you are going to use the Spark DSL or if you are going to use the Spark SQL, at the end, what we are doing, Andy? We are creating the data frame only. If you see the statement, I am using the Spark.SQL. Here, what I am giving customer underscore LO underscore NY underscore SQL. What is this indirectly? It's a data frame only. Okay, that's the reason. If you see, what is the type? Data frame. That's the reason. After that, I'm giving the data frame dot show. With that, you can able to see the output on top of your output. And this is the way we can able to understand how we can able to apply the Spark SQL by depending on our requirement. Now, my requirement is whatever the output we are getting. So far, what we did, we are seeing the data only in the output screens. Now, my requirement is I want to write this entire output into a particular file. For example, whatever the output we are getting, I want to write this data into a file format. Now tell me, with the help of the Spark, what operations we can able to perform? Only read operations, or we can able to perform the write operations also? With the help of the Spark, we can able to perform both read operations and also we can able to perform the write operations. But so far, whatever the examples we discussed on the Spark Andy, so far we discussed about only read operation. Now we'll try to understand how we can able to perform the write operation. It's very simple. Whenever you want to perform the write, we have to give it as df dot write dot. Then we have to specify the format dot. We can give it as a mode dot. Then give it as save. So this is the way simply we can able to form the our one line of the code. So coming here, we need to give the data frame and we need to give the write. Then we need to specify the format. Then we need to specify the mode. Then we need to specify the save. So like this, we can able to specify one line of the code. With that, we can able to perform the write operation. Now my requirement is, for example, I want to write the data into Parquet format. I want to write whole data in the Parquet format. So for that reason, just what we can do here, within the format, we can give it as a Parquet. Then what is the mode? Just observe here. Actually, we are having different types of the modes. Only one we can able to call it as a append mode. Second type of mode we can able to call it as a overwrite mode. Now, any guesses? By seeing the name, any guesses? What is the meaning of append? What is the meaning of overwrite? For example, here I'm giving D drive /qt/ I'm giving the path as, for example, CDE batch 20. Just assume that this is the path I'm giving as part of writing my data. Now, first time I ran this statement, run one. What will happen? It will create a file in this path. It will create, for example, x.park. Just assume that it is creating a file like this on top of your path. Okay. Now, for example, if I'm going to perform the same operation one more time, run 2. Now, what will happen?
It will add the data to the existing.
1 second.
For append mode, it will add the data with
Just 1
existing
second,
data.
okay? Just 1 second. Okay. Now, see, for example, this is the way I'm giving. Now, in this way, what I'm doing here, I'm not giving any mode option. If you are not giving any mode options as part of your code, then come into run 2, what will happen is it will give error. By default, what will happen? If you are not going to specify the mode, it will give the error saying that this path already exists. See here, as part of this line of the code, I am not giving any mode option. If you are not giving any mode option, what will happen here? If this path is already available, then what will happen? We are going to get the error saying that this path is already exist. Okay. But my requirement is I want to perform the override operation. Coming to second time also, if I'm going to perform the write operation, I want to override the existing file and I want to create the new file. And whenever we are having that kind of requirement, then we can able to use the option called as a mode option. Now coming to run 2, my requirement is I want to perform override. If you want to perform the override operation, we have to use same line, but just we need to add here, give it as mode. Within the mode, we need to specify override. Now, because of given the override, what will happen? In the second run, simply it is going to perform the override operation. If this path is already available, it will perform the override operation. With that, it is going to create the path one more time. In that, it will write the data whenever we are having the requirement to override the data every time. And just we can able to give the option called as a mode override. With that, we can able to perform the override operation. But my requirement is coming to second day, I don't want to perform the override operation. In the same path, I want to append the data whenever we are having that kind of requirement. Whenever you want to append the data, what we can do here is simply we can able to write same line of the code. But only thing is nothing but instead of override, give it as append. So like this, we can able to specify the modes and either you can able to perform the override operation or we can able to perform the append operations by depending on our requirement. If you are given the override, it will override the existing path. But if you are given the append, what will happen? In the existing path on the existing file, it is going to perform the append operation. Like that, by depending on the requirement, whenever we are going to perform the write operation, either we can able to give it as a override or we can able to give it as a append. Now tell me, if I'm not giving anything, what's happening? If I'm not giving anything, what's happening? First time, it won't give any kind of error. But coming to second time onwards, it will not perform the override. It will not perform the append operation. Simply what will happen? It is going to give the error. Indirectly, I can able to say, if you want to get the error messages, then don't specify anymore. Just do like this. If you are giving simply like this, what will happen in the second run? It is going to give the error saying that this path is already available in the specified location. That's the reason you will get the errors. This is the way we need to understand as part of doing the Spark write operations, what type of the modes we can able to specify. Now in this example, I am given the Parquet, but can we able to write the data only in the Parquet format? No, only by depending on our requirement, either you can able to write the data in the CSV format, or we can able to write the data in the Parquet format, or we can able to write the data in the JSON format, or we can able to write the data in the ORC format. Indirectly, I can able to say these all are different file formats we are having. You can able to write it into the GSV or JSON or Parquet or ORC or Avro. By using any one of the format of the file, we can able to perform the write operation. Now in the today's example, we'll try to see how we can able to write the data into the Parquet format. And let's go back.
Sir, can I use the SQL file?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Can I use the .SQL file format?
Just 1 second only. So this is the way we can able to provide our REST statement. Whatever we type in the notepad, simply I'm giving the same thing. Here I given the data frame, but in our example, what is the data frame name? Our data frame name is nothing but customer underscore LO underscore ny.sql. So that is the name I'm giving here. After that, we are given the right. Then we are specifying the format. I'm giving the format as a Parquet. Then we are given the mode. We are giving it as a override. After that, we are given the save. Now where we are working? In that data bricks we are working. For that reason, we need to provide the dbfs path and I'm giving dbfs slash file store slash. Then here what I will do is I will give it as qt cde batch 19 or 20. Anything is fine. So this is the way I'm giving the path, and indirectly whatever the values we are getting in this data frame, we are writing all those values on top of your this path. Okay. Yeah. Now someone is asking a question. Can you please continue? You are saying spark.sql for right?
Like file format in SQL, it be possible?
No. In the
Parquet
here why we need to worry about the file format only? As part of Spark SQL, directly we are dealing on top of the data frames only. Now, as part of creation of the data frame, if you want, what we can do here in this example, we created the data frame by reading the data from the CSV file. If you want, you can able to create the data frame with the help of the Parquet file, or if you want, you can able to create the data frame with the help of the JSON file. As part of creation of the data frame only, you are performing the read operation. In this step only, either you can able to read data from CSV or Parquet or JSON or ORC by depending on the requirement. As part of read operation, you have to specify the type of the format of the file. But coming to Spark SQL, what I'm doing here, after creation of the data frame, on those data frames, we are going to create the views. On top of the views, we are going to perform the SQL operations with the help of the Spark.SQL. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. But if, after writing time, can I change the format in SQL, replace to Parquet?
Now, if you are given the SQL, how it can able to write the data? Indirectly, you want to load the data into the table. Now, what do you mean by format SQL? Yeah, if you want to load the data into the tabular format, we can able to specify the table also. But whenever you want to load the data into the table, you have to specify in which database you want to load the data and what is the server name of the database. All that information we have to specify here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now just we'll run this. Now see here, my write operation is completed. Now I want to verify whether files are written properly or not. How we can able to verify that information? Try to give the answer. How many ways we can able to verify whether Parquet file is written into this path or not? By depending on your knowledge, you try to give the answers. In this path, I need to verify whether this data frame data is written properly or not. One option, directly you can able to go to that path. In that path, you can able to verify the files and how we can able to do that operation from the notebook. If you want, we can able to go to the catalog. In the catalog, you can able to go to the browse option. In the browse option, you can able to go to the respective folder. There you can able to see the list of the files. But I don't want to perform this operation from the catalog. I want to do this from the notebook only. So what we can do? %fs space ls. After that, just give the path. And just run this. That's my mistake.
D is not.
Yeah, it's my mistake. Sorry. Now see here. Here we can able to see the file called as nothing but our Parquet file, and this is the Parquet file. So this is the way you can able to create the Parquet file on top of your specified path. This is the one of the option to understand whether file is rated or not. Now tell me, is there any other option? One option, we can go to the catalog, we can able to verify the data in the path. Second option, from the notebook, we can able to give this command. By using this command, you can able to verify whether Parquet file is created or not. Is there any other option?
We can read the file and display the content.
Yeah, perfectly correct answer. So see here, whatever the path we are having, in this path, what is the file we are having? Parquet. Now try to read the data from the Parquet file. So far what we did, Andy, we read the data from the CSV file. Now I will try to read the data from the Parquet file. Now where we are having the Parquet file? In this path, I'm having the Parquet file. So what I will do here is, I will create. giving, for example, data frame 1 is equal to spark dot read dot parquet, and within the bracket just you have to specify the path, close, and after that just I'm giving df1 dot show. We'll run this. If really file is there in the Parquet format, it need to display the data into the output. We'll see that. So see here, which data frame we copied earlier. This is the data frame we copied. In this data frame, we are having this data. I think total we are having 8 number of records only. Now, after writing the data into the Parquet format, just for checking purpose, I am reading the data from the Parquet file one more time. If you want to read the data from the Parquet file, instead of CSV, just we can able to give it as a Parquet. With that, if you see here, whatever the output we are seeing in the previous window, we can able to get the same output. This is the one more way you can able to verify whether your file is written properly or not on top of your target path only. So this is the way we can able to perform the write operations by depending on our requirement. So far we discussed about the read operation. Now in the today's example, with the help of the Spark SQL, we achieved the requirement. At the same time, after that, we perform the write operations on top of your required path. At the same time, here we are discussing about while performing the write operation, what are the different operations we can able to perform. By using the mode, either you can able to perform the override operation or we can able to perform the append operations by depending on the requirement. This is the way simply we can able to perform Spark read and write operations. Read and write. And with the same example, we discussed about how we can able to perform Spark SQL operations. Any questions up to here, please ask me. Any questions or any confusions up to here?
Sir, DBFS file system has any limitation to store the data or something?
No, we don't have any kind of limitation. We can able to store the huge amount of data also in the DBFS. But only thing is nothing but we have to maintain that much of memory on top of your file system.
Okay.
In the free account, might be you will face the issues, but if you are going to use the paid version, you won't face any kind of issues for storage. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Just 1 second. I have one more example. I want to cover that. Okay. Now just observe here only one more thing. With the help of the notebook, if you remember, we discussed about how we can able to use percentile fs. What is the percentile fs? It's a kind of a magic command. By using this, we can able to access DBFS or we can able to access our file system. In the same way, if you remember, earlier we discussed about one more magic command called as nothing but SQL. Percentile SQL. With the help of this percentile SQL, what we can do here? You can able to perform SQL operations. But tell me, as part of using the Spark SQL, did I use any magic command called as percentile SQL? As part of using the Spark.SQL in the previous example, did I use the percentile SQL? No, right? Then what is the percentile SQL here? Very simple. Try to understand the statement. To read data from a file. So far, what we are doing, we are creating a data frame by using spark.read.csv option. This is one more way, one of the way to read the data from the file and to create the data frame. One more approach is nothing but with the help of the percentile SQL, directly we can able to create table or view, and we can able to provide schema, and we can able to read data from CSV or Parquet or any kind of the file. All these operations we can able to perform by using one more approach only. So far, we did all the operations with the help of the spark.read.csv. By using this option, we read the data and we created a data frame. But if you want, what we can do here, we can able to perform the same operations with the help of the magic command called as a percentile SQL. With the help of this percentile SQL, you can able to create the table. While creation of the table, you can able to read the data from the CSV file, or we can able to read the data from the Parquet file. Now you try to give the answer. What is the query we need to write for the purpose of creating a table? Simply we can give it as creates table name. After that, we need to specify column 1. Then we have to give data type, for example, int. Then column 2, for example, string. Then we have to specify column 3. Then we can able to specify int. Like this, we can able to specify the schema. With that, you can able to create the table. But here my requirement is, as part of creation of the table itself, I want to read the data from the file only. For that reason, here we are going to use the option keyword called as options keyword. Within that, just we need to provide the path. From which path you want to read the data, that is the information we can able to pass. As part of creation of the table itself, I want to read the data from the file. For that reason, we need to specify options. Within the options, we need to specify from which path you want to read the data. At the same time, here we need to specify what type of file you want to read. I want to read CSV file, so we need to give it as a using CSV only. So by using this option, we can able to create the tables by reading the data from the file. But if you want to perform this operation, now tell me, it's a kind of a pure SQL query or it's a kind of a Spark? It's a pure SQL query only. For that reason, just what we'll do here is, here we'll apply the percentage SQL. Whenever you want to run pure SQL, then what we have to do here, we need to give the percentage SQL. With the help of the percentage SQL, you can able to create the tables like that. On top of that, we can able to perform the required operations. Now tell me here, coming to batch 19 people, I'm asking, have we seen above query anywhere in previous classes?
Creating external tables before.
BigQuery.
Have we discussed about these kind of queries in the previous classes? If you
Yes,
remember,
sir, backup of
as part of discussing about the BigQuery, we discussed about this kind of SQL query. At the same time,
Partition.
no.
Spark SQL.
When?
Hadoop.
Yeah, Spark SQL is the correct answer, but where? If you remember,
Yeah.
as part of discussing data prop, we
Data
discussed
prop
about the
instance.
concept called as a Spark SQL and during that time also we discussed about the similar kind of the concept. As part of BigQuery, we applied the similar kind of thing. As part of data prop also, we applied the Spark SQL. Coming to batch 20 people, we'll discuss about these topics in the coming classes only. Just I'm giving the overview to the batch 19 people. As part of BigQuery, if you remember, we discussed about similar kind of concept. As part of data prop also, we discussed about the similar kind of concept. At the same time, if you remember, as part of data prop, we discussed about use cases. One of the use case we discussed by using this approach only. If you forgot, please try to recap because everything is important, Andy. That's the reason. If you forgot, if you remember, well and good. If you forgot, please try to recap whatever we discussed in the previous classes. Now here also what I'm doing here, just I'm creating a normal table. As part of creation of the table, we have to specify the path and we need to specify what format of the file you want to read. By specifying all this information, you can able to create the tables and you can able to read the data from the tables, Andy. So just observe here. Now my requirement is I want to read the data from the customer_ny.csv file. For that reason, just I'm going to create the table like this. See, we are giving create temporary view. We are giving the view name. After that, providing the structure. After that, we are given the using CSV. After that, we are given the options. With that, simply you can able to create the table or view. Okay. Now we created the view. Now my requirement is I want to access this view only. If you want to access the view, what we can do here? Simply we need to give select star from view name or select star from the table name. But tell me, if you are going to give the select star from the view name or table name, again that is the normal SQL query or Spark SQL query. For example, I want to give like this. It's a normal SQL query. So what we can do here for this also simply give it as a percentile SQL. With the help of the percentile SQL, simply we can able to run the normal queries like this. Until if you see the next one, this is the one. I am giving simply percentile SQL. After that, we are giving select star from our view name. Just run this one again. You see here, you can able to get the output data like this. This is the way. If you want, with the help of the percentile SQL also, we can able to perform these operations in the notebook. But if we are going to work in the real-time projects only, if we are going to work in real-time projects by using data bricks, if you are going to perform the Spark operations, we won't use percentile SQL. What we will use in the notebook, if you are going to use the Spark, we are going to use the Spark.SQL. Then why we are discussing? Just for explaining how we can able to use the magic commands to understand about that. Just I'm covering this topic from last 10 minutes only. If I want, what I can do, I can able to skip this topic, but just I want to give the overview in the Data Bricks notebook. What are the operations we can able to perform? That's the reason. Just I'm giving some examples on top of the percentile SQL also. But in the real time, if you want to perform the Spark operations with the help of the Data Bricks, then what we can do here? Either we can able to use Spark SQL or we are going to use Spark DSL. Other than these two, we are not going to use any other things only. But in the notebook, we are having the one of the option called as nothing but percentile SQL. By using this, we can able to define the tables or we can able to run the proper SQL queries by depending on our requirement. Only for that reason, just we are discussing about our percentile SQL. Okay. Any questions again up to here? Please ask me. Sorry. This one. See here, this is the temporary view on this. So it's not storing anywhere. It's a kind of a virtual, which is nothing but this view is pointing to this path. If I'm going to run the query, what will happen indirectly? From this path, it will read the data. That data is displaying in the tabular format indirectly. Physically, nowhere this table is going to store. It's storing only virtually. But this is pointing to what? This is pointing to our path. From that path, it can able to give the data on top of your output. Same thing happened in the BigQuery external tables also. In the BigQuery external table, where we are having the data? In the BigQuery or in the GCS? In the GCS. In the same way, coming to here, in this table, where we are having the data indirectly? This data is present in the DBFS. From there, we are reading the data. That data we are displaying in the tabular format on top of our output. Is it clear? Okay. Going to create the physical table, so it will store in the... No, we cannot able to create the tables. We can able to create the only views. Only for understanding, in the notepad I set it as a table, but here we can able to create the only views. We cannot able to create the tables. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, please continue.
Say here also we are doing ETL data.
Yeah, we can able to perform the ETL operations also here. So for example, here just I given the select star from the table only. Okay, instead of that, what we can do here, if you want, you can able to create the one more view called as a customer underscore LO underscore SQL underscore V. After that, you can able to apply the requirements and you can able to perform any kind of operations. That only we can able to call it as a ETL operations. If you remember, earlier we discussed about union with subquery with case when statement with where clause. Indirectly, what we are doing here is nothing but our ETL operation only, right? We extracted the data from the source file. On top of that, we applied the transformation. What transformations we applied as per the requirement? Union, subquery, case when, where. By using all these things, we are applying the transformation. After that, we loaded the data. In which format we loaded the data? In the RK format. Whatever the operations we are discussing, indirectly all those operations we can able to call it as nothing but ETL operations only. Okay. Any other questions up to here?
And data is like DFS system. Can I archive the data in the different files in the different location or is putting?
Yeah, we can able
like
we can able to archive it in the same DBFS. Otherwise, if you want, we can able to archive on top of your GCP GCS buckets also. But for that, we have to use the connectors. By using the connectors, you can able to move data from the DBFS to GCS by depending on our requirements. Okay. Any other questions? If no question, just I want to cover one more simple topic only. Just observe here. Now, I want to perform some orchestration. What is the meaning of orchestration? First step, we need to create the jobs. Second step, in between jobs, I want to create dependencies. And third step, I want to specify at what time you want to trigger the jobs. So all these three kind of operations we can able to call it as nothing but orchestration. As part of orchestration, we need to create the jobs. After that, in between the jobs, what we need to do here, we need to create the dependencies. After that, I want to specify at what time we want to trigger the jobs and the collection of all these operations. Indirectly, we can able to call it as a orchestration. Now coming to batch 19 people, if you remember, what is the orchestration tool already we discussed in the previous classes? It's nothing but Airflow. With the help of the Airflow, you can able to perform the orchestration activity. But coming to here, within the Databricks also, they given option for orchestration. So what we can do here, within the Databricks also, we can able to perform the orchestration operation. By using the Databricks orchestration, you can able to create the jobs, you can able to define the dependencies between the jobs. At the same time, we can able to specify at what time you want to trigger the jobs. And again, for batch 20 people, we haven't discussed about Airflow, but don't worry, there is no dependency between the Airflow to Databricks. And Databricks is a completely separate thing. Now today, freshly, we are discussing about in the Databricks how we can able to perform the orchestration activity. Now here, if you want to perform the orchestration, what we have to define first? We need to create the jobs. Now you tell me, by using these jobs, what you want to trigger? By using the jobs, what you want to trigger? See here, whatever the notebooks we are creating in the Databricks, and those notebooks we can able to trigger with the help of the jobs. For example, see here, I am creating notebook 1, or I will give the shortcut name NB1, NB2, NB3, NB4, and NB5. For example, I created total 5 different notebooks by depending on my requirement. So far, what we have done, we performed all the examples on top of the single notebook. And just assume that you are creating the 5 different notebooks. Now, every notebook, if you want to run, we can able to create the jobs. Here I'm saying, for example, job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4, and job 5. So what I'm telling here, for example, I am going to create total 5 different notebooks. And now so far we are running all the notebooks manually. We are going to click on the run button. With that, we are running the notebooks manually by depending on my requirement. But I want to run all these jobs, all these notebooks automatically. For that reason, to trigger the notebook 1, I will create a job 1. Next, notebook 2, job 2, notebook 3, job 3. Like that, I am going to create the 5 different jobs for 5 different notebooks. And now my requirement is, I want to trigger like this. First, I want to run the notebook 1. After that, I want to run notebook 2. After that, at a time, I want to run the notebook 3 and notebook 4. After that, I want to run notebook 5. This is the way I want to perform the run operations. Otherwise, just 1 second. What is this? Don't assume it's a separate tool, it's Excel sheet only, just normal Excel sheet. Okay. Now see here, for every notebook, what I'm doing here, I'm creating the different jobs only. Now my requirement is, first I want to trigger the job 1. After that, I want to trigger job 2. After triggering the job 2 at a time, I want to trigger job 3 and job 4. After completion of these 2 jobs, I want to trigger the job 5. Okay, so this is the way I want to perform my job execution. Now tell me indirectly, by seeing this diagram, what we can able to understand. If you want to trigger the job 2, what need to happen? Job 1 should complete. Okay. And if you want to trigger the job 3 and job 4, what need to happen? Job 2 should complete. Now you tell me, job 3 and job 4 are going to run sequentially or parallelly? Job 3 and job 4 will trigger at a time. Once job 2 is going to complete, then job 3 and job 4 will trigger parallelly. Now when job 5 will start? After completion of job 3 and job 4, then only your job 5 is going to trigger. Like this, I want to define dependency between the multiple jobs only. For the purpose of defining all these kind of dependencies, or for the purpose of creation of all these jobs, what we can do here, we are going to perform the activity called as nothing but orchestration activity. For the purpose of doing this orchestration activity within the Databricks, we are having the option. Here we need to use the option called as nothing but workflows. With the help of the workflows, we can able to perform this whole orchestration activity. And so what we can do here is, please go to your data bricks. So far we discussed about workspaces, we discussed about catalog, we discussed about the compute. Now, if you want to perform the orchestration, we need to go for the workflows. And just observe here first within the workspace. So might be some people are thinking when class will complete. Am I right? Just wait for 10 minutes only. So I started the class lately, that's the reason it's delaying. So just wait for 10 minutes. I am also feeling hungry. We'll go in 10 minutes. Okay. It's a small topic. Just we'll complete and we'll go for lunch. So see here, if you observe within the workspace only, I'm having the multiple jobs, multiple notebooks like this: sample 1, sample 2, sample 3 underscore x, sample 3 underscore y, sample 4. This is the way, for example, I already created the multiple notebooks. Just we'll see the content here. The sample 1. What we are having? It's a very simple statement. Only we need to understand the concept only. If you understand the concept, here we can able to write the Spark code or we can able to write the Python code. Just for understanding, we are giving this example. In the first notebook, what we are having? Print sample 1. Now in the same way, if you see the sample 2, we are having simply print sample 2, because just I want to create the multiple notebooks to understand about orchestration process. For that reason, in each and every notebook, just I given the print statement only. See, we are having print sample 3 underscore x. Okay, like that, we are having total 5 different notebooks only. In between all these notebooks, I want to define the dependencies and I want to create the jobs and I want to run the jobs, everything. For that reason, what we are doing here, we need to perform the orchestration. If you want to perform the orchestration, where we need to go here? Simply, we need to go to workflows. Click on the workflows. Click on the workflows. After that, here we can able to see the option called as a create a job only. Click on the create job. Click on create job. After that, it is asking the task name. I am giving, for example, job 1. It is asking the task name. I'm giving the job 1 as a name. After that, it is asking what type of the job you want to trigger. Now, in our example, I want to trigger the notebook only. Other than that, if you want, what we can do here, see what options we are having. If you want, we can able to trigger the Python script, or we can able to trigger the SQLs, or we can trigger the Spark submit. What is the Spark submit? Yesterday we discussed, right? If you want to run the Spark programs in the real time, we can able to go for the Spark submit also. Like this, you can able to see the multiple options if you want to trigger your jobs. But for now, I am taking the example called as a notebook. Now after that, it is asking what is the source. So we have to specify the source only. Click on this arrow. Here we can able to specify workspace. After that, it is asking the path. So we have to specify the path. Where we are having the notebooks? Under the users and under the Srinivas 552. Here, which workbook you want to trigger, which notebook? Sample 1. So I'm selecting the sample 1. Click on confirm. And after that, it is asking on which cluster you want to trigger. We have to specify the cluster only. To click on this drop down option. My cluster name is nothing but sample QT. Select the cluster name. So if you want to run the job, obviously we have to specify the in which cluster you want to trigger. For that reason, I am giving the cluster name also here. After giving all this information, just click on create. It is asking the job name. I am giving the job 1 only. Click on confirm and create. See here, this is the way simply we can able to create the job. But tell me, our requirement is I want to create the single job or I want to create the multiple tasks and I want to define the dependency between the multiple tasks. I want to create the multiple jobs and in between the jobs, I want to define the dependencies only. For that reason, in the same job, if you observe here, what we are having, you can able to see option called as a add task. Just click on that. Now, once we click on that, it is asking what type of task you want to add. So as per our requirement, I want to add the notebooks and click on the notebook. Now again, it is asking the task name. I'm giving, for example, job 2. Now you tell me what next we need to give. You have to specify what type of job you want to trigger. I want to trigger the same notebook only. After that, source is workspace. After that, we need to give the path. In the path, again, we have to specify users Srinivas 552 and give it as a sample 2. Click on confirm. After that, here see, this is the one important thing we need to remember. In the first job, it is not asking anything about the dependency because for first job, there is no dependency, Andy. But coming to second task, what is the dependency? We are having the dependency on the job 1. That's the reason if you click on this drop down, you can able to see on which job you want to trigger. I have the dependency. I want to define the dependency on the job 1. I am giving it as a job 1. After that, just click on create task. So yeah, here we given the path automatically and it taken the cluster also sample qt only. Click on create task. Okay, so see here we are having the job 1 and we are having the job 2. In the same way, we have to create the 3 more jobs only. I will click on one more time add task. Click on notebook. Here I'm giving simply job 3 and type is notebook and source is workspace, and we have to specify the path of the notebook. Now for job 3, what's the dependency? After completion of the job 2, I want to trigger the job 3. So it's taking the dependency nothing but job 2 only. After that, just click on create task. So don't feel get bored on it because in the real time you are going to perform the same kind of activities. Okay, that's the reason definitely have to understand how we need to create the jobs. I know it's a very simple thing only, but to create all the tasks, it will take some time. Please be patient. And 3 tasks are created. I will create the 4th task again. I'm giving job 4, for example. And type is notebook, source is workspace. Again, we have to specify the path. After that, we have to specify the cluster. Now, tell me for this job 4, what's the dependency? We have to give it as a job 2. How to give the job 2? Please click on this drop down. Once you click on the drop down, you can able to see all the jobs only. Here we have to specify on which job you want to define the dependency. For job 4 also, my dependency is the job 2 only. So select the job 2. Remove this. Now see what's happening automatically in the diagram. You can able to see job 1, job 2. Once the job 2 is going to complete, it will trigger the job 3 and job 4 in parallel. After that, just click on create task. Okay, so just we'll create the last one only. So coming to last one, we have to give job 5 and specify type and specify the path. Now tell me for this one, what's the dependency? Job 3 and 4. So just we need to click on this drop down. You can able to select both the things. We can able to select the job 3 and job 4. After that, click on create task. Now, if you see this diagram, Andy, whatever the diagram we discussed in the Excel sheet, you can able to see the same diagram on top of our Data Bricks workflows also. This is the way simply we can able to create the, so like this. See, whatever the diagram we discussed on the Excel sheet, we replicated the same thing on top of your Data Bricks with the help of the workflows. This is the way we can able to define the orchestration. Now, job 2 is having dependency on the job 1. And job 3 and job 4 are having the dependency on the job 2. And job 5 is having dependency on the job 3 and job 4. This is the way we can able to provide the dependencies by depending on our requirement. We created the jobs. After that, we define the dependencies between the jobs only. Now, what's the last step? We need to trigger the job. Okay. If you want to trigger the job, here we can able to see the option called as a run now. By click on that, you can able to trigger the job immediately. Otherwise, if you see here, you can able to see the option called as a schedule option. If you want to define the schedule, and click on add schedule. Here we can able to specify I want to trigger based on the schedule, and I want to trigger this every day at, for example, 2 p.m. Every day 2 p.m. I want to trigger. So like that, you can able to define the timings also by depending on our requirement. If you want to run immediately, you can able to click on the run now. Otherwise, if you want to define the schedule every day at afternoon 2 p.m. I want to trigger this. For that reason, you can able to specify the schedule like this only. After that, just click on the save button. Now, once we are going to click on the save, what will happen? Every day at afternoon 2 p.m. automatically this job is going to trigger. With that, it is going to perform all the required operations in each and every job. This is the way we can able to understand how we can able to perform the orchestration on top of your Databricks. And within the Databricks, by using the workflows, we can able to perform the orchestration. Within the workflows, what are the steps we need to perform? First one, we need to create the job. Second one, in between the job, we need to define the dependencies. Third one, we need to define the schedule. By using all these things, we can able to perform the orchestration on top of our workflows. Just click on run now. Just click on run now and click on the view run. Now we can able to see the status of each and every job. Now see, once it is running, you can able to see the status in the green color. Job 1 completed. After that, job 2 triggered. Job 2 showing it in the green color. After completion of job 2, in parallel, job 3 and job 4 are triggered. After completion of job 3 and job 4, what's happening here? Job 5 also triggered. This is the way simply we can able to understand how to create the jobs, how to define the dependency between the jobs, and how to trigger the jobs. And if you want to trigger immediately, click on run button. Otherwise, if you want to define the schedule, that also we can able to perform. This is the way simply we can able to perform orchestration activities on top of your notebooks. But tell me here, in the notebook, what we are having in each and every notebook? We are having simply one print statement. Okay, now just I will give you one assignment only. After completion of the class, if you can able to create the Databricks account, then please perform this assignment. My assignment is create notebook 1. In this notebook 1, read data from customer underscore LO file and write into Parquet format to target directory. So this is the first step. And in the notebook 1, I want to perform this operation. Read the data from the customer underscore LO CSV file and write this same data as it without doing any changes. And write the same data into the Parquet format into the target directory. This is the step 1. Now next one, I want to create the notebook 2. In this notebook 2, please read data from the customer underscore NY CSV file and write this data into the Parquet format into target directory 2. This is target directory 1. This is target directory 2. Now tell me what the meaning of target directory. In the DBFS, just you have to specify any one of the path, and with that you will write the data into target directory 1. Second file you are writing into the target directory 2. Now coming to notebook 3, my requirement is notebook 3. Read data from target directory 1 and target directory 2 into data frames. After that, perform Spark SQL operations as we discussed and write results into target directory 3. So this is the whole requirement, and total I want to create the 3 notebooks. Now you tell me, are we doing any new operations? We did the same operations in the single notebook as part of our class. Now what I'm telling here is just to split all the tasks into the individual notebooks. And notebook 1, first file read, first file write. Notebook 2, second file read, second file write. Third notebook, read the data from the target directory 1 and target directory 2, create the data frames. On top of that, perform the Spark SQL operation. With that, write the data into the target directory 3. Like that, you have to create total 3 notebooks. And after that, for every notebook, create job 1, job 2, and job 3. Now tell me here, how to define the dependency between all these 3 jobs based on your understanding. We need to specify job 1 and job 2. After that, I want to specify simply job 3, which is nothing but job 1 and job 2. If you want to trigger, there is no dependency. For that reason, job 1 and job 2, I want to trigger in parallel. After completion of these 2 jobs, then only I want to trigger the job 3. This is the requirement. Any questions on the requirement, sir? Please ask me. You have to create total 3 notebooks. Notebook 1, read the data from the file 1, write into the Parquet format. Notebook 2, read the data from the second file, write the data into the Parquet target directory. Notebook 3, read the data from the target directory 1 and target directory 2 and create the data frame and create the Spark SQL and write the data into the target directory 3. Like that, you have to create total 3 different notebooks. And after that, for every notebook, create a job. Within the job, you have to specify the dependencies like this. Job 1, or we can able to say, this is my task 1, this is my task 2, and this is my task 3. Out of all these 3 tasks, what need to happen? These 2 tasks should run in parallel. After that, after completion of these 2 tasks, I want to trigger the task 3. All these are the operations I want to perform as per my requirement. Any question on top of this assignment, please ask me here. Now tell me, with the help of single assignment, what will happen? If you can able to perform this assignment, what will happen? You can able to recap Spark read operations, and you can able to recap Spark write operations, and you can able to recap Spark SQL operations. In parallel, you can able to recap creation of jobs, and you can able to recap orchestration activities. Indirectly, with the help of the single assignment, you can able to perform all these activities at a time. And that's the reason, once you can able to create the Data Bricks account, after that, please try to perform all these activities on top of your Data Bricks. Okay, any questions up to here? Online people, any questions?
In the Databricks, where to monitor the all the like same in that?
No, if you see here we can able to see the job runs. And if you observe here we can able to see option called as a job runs. You can click on this. By click on the job runs. Here you can able to see all the jobs, whatever you ran. You can able to see the job names also. Whatever the job you want to monitor, just we have to click on that. With that, you can able to monitor how it is running properly or not.
Okay.
Is clear? Okay. If no questions, so that's all for this session. And now, what about 2:30? Always 1:45. So we'll do one thing. So 2:30, I'm not going to take any class, Andy. So whatever the things we discussed today, please do the practice on all these things. So with that, we can meet in the tomorrow morning session. Is it fine? Okay. And coming back to these, Andy. So 1 second, just want to clarify this. So these things. Okay, I will share notes anyhow. So see here, for first one, someone given some option. Second one also, someone given some kind of solutions, Andy. But from my side also, what I will do here, I will cross verify, is there any permanent solution for all these kind of issues? If I found any solution, immediately I will post in the Telegram group. With that, you can able to proceed the work on top of your Data Bricks. Till that time, just to try to apply these options, Andy. Whatever the options someone given for the first issue, whatever the options someone given for the second issue, try to perform these activities. With that, if Databricks account is created and if you can able to create the compute engine, then you can able to continue the practice. Otherwise, just wait for 1 hour. I will go through all the issues. If I found any kind of solution for these issues, Andy, I will ping in the Telegram group. With that, you can able to create the Databricks account, and with that, you can able to perform the practice for all these topics. Okay. Now, for example, for any reason, if you cannot able to create Databricks account, or if you are unable to perform this compute engine creation, what you can do for any reason. Please go through morning and afternoon session videos 3-4 times. So with that, by seeing, at least you can able to understand what we are doing on top of the Databricks, and definitely we'll try to get the access on top of the Databricks. For any reason, if you could not able to get the access on top of the Databricks, we don't have any other option, right? For that reason, please go through the video for 3-4 times. With that, you can able to understand what activities we are performing on top of our Databricks account. Okay, if it is a kind of a code issue, I can able to solve it immediately, Andy. But it's not a code issue; it's an issue from the Databricks side, or it's an issue from the GCP side. That's the reason. Just I will put some time. If I found any kind of solutions, I will let you know immediately. Otherwise, this is the last option we can able to implicate for the purpose of doing our practice. Is it fine? Okay. Okay, then that's all for today. We'll meet you in the tomorrow session.
Hello.
Yeah, please. Someone is asking a question. Please continue.
Yeah, for quota issue, it's created, sir, by using one of the guy given the suggestion, right? Memory optimized.
Yeah, perfect. So someone is saying that he tried with the memory optimized by using this option. That person is able to create it in the compute engine. So people whom are facing this issue, please follow this next step. I think 2 members are saying this issue is resolved by using this option. For you also it's resolved. Nice, right? So everyone whomever facing this issue, quota issue, I think this is the solution. Please follow this.
Option 2 is not working.
Option 2 not working. I will check and let you know. So just I will check from my end and I will let you know. Okay. But coming to first one, someone given the solution, it's working perfectly. Other people also, please follow this. Yeah, please continue.
So will you be free tomorrow? And Yamuna.
For what?
Like you said, whenever you come to the institute, right? You said you will inform.
Yeah, you can come tomorrow offline, Andy. So hopefully I will be free. We'll discuss. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and one more last thing, Andy. So whatever the document morning I showed you, I uploaded that into the Infinity. Hope you people find that. No? Where we have the document? That's a kind of a handout, Andy. So you can able to refer that in the handout section. If you go to handouts, there you can able to see Databricks account setup. Whatever morning I showed you the document, right? All the steps and screenshots, you can able to refer that in the handout section. In the handouts, you can able to see the document name called as a Databricks account setup. There I uploaded the document. Please go through the document if you want to see all the screenshots, whatever we did as part of our morning session. Okay. Okay, then we'll meet you tomorrow.